speaking of birthdays, I don't know if you know, it was Russell Wilson's recently, and much was made.
Tuesday.
Much was made as to who was his party and who was not. And
I can't believe that's a thing.
brother, it is not only a thing; it's a big thing. Because coming into this week 12, the team that is third on the clock in the NFL draft coming up in Kansas City next year is the Seattle Seahawks, with the draft choice they got for trading Denver Russell Wilson, winning only 3 of their first 11 football games. And 11 football games, the number 11 is apparently 16 fewer than the number of his invited teammates who showed up. And for some reason, somebody took this information and made it glass half empty as opposed to party half full. And Mike Kliss, who covers the Denver Broncos for many years, Denver sports scene, just tweeted it out that there's some gossip about Wilson standing in the locker room. And here's some context. Per source, Wilson's wife, Ciara, threw him a birthday party last night. Looked like about half the team was there. Was a quote he put on there. On a player's day off, why do people have to be so hurtful? Is what Mike wrote. Hashtag 9Sports, the TV station he works for. And we asked this of Patrick Peterson, who then who hung up the phone from us yesterday, went on a podcast and lit a fuse and threw a bomb towards the direction of the Arizona Cardinals locker room that we'll talk about later on. Peterson's like, I asked him, how many people would go to his birthday party or Kirk Cousins' birthday party, and he knew what I was kind of getting at. He pointed out, by the way, at Tuesday night, a lot of guys won't show up because practice is early the next morning.
They have it on Monday, he said. Have it on a Monday night. I don't know.
But at any rate, it's just the latest thing here to just throw onto the burning fire in what is a dumpster fire of a season for the Denver Broncos. And Russell Wilson was asked about this.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
I haven't seen this.
And this was his response to him having problems within his own locker room.
I think that, first of all, everybody wants to win. We all want to win, and nobody wants to win, more than me and this team and what we want to be able to do. I think also as well, I got great relationships in that locker room. So whoever's trying to tear it down, you can't. I think that the best thing about it is that it's been an amazing journey coming here, moving here, being here. This is a great team. And we got great players. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to play with this team and these guys. And so, there's always noise, especially when things aren't going the way that you want it to all the time. And so the thing is that you don't bat an eye. That my biggest goal every day is to continue to try to lead at the highest level. And to be consistent every day with my approach, and to never change, and not let the highs of life, change you, and not let the lows. Just be consistent with your approach, and knowing that I love these guys every day, man, and who they are, what they're about, and how they impact this community and what they've done. It's a blessing to be on this team, and I'm honored to be a part of this.
So is that I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
He didn't say anything.
I know what you're thinking. Well, this is, like I said yesterday, this is who Russell Wilson is.
I know. I need to get over
an outwardly optimistic, positive individual that for anyone else out there who no question has doubts and concerns about anything that they do in life comes across as perhaps somebody who is just saying these words. Because how can somebody be so positive and blessed to be in a situation that appears to be so disastrous? But that's him. That's him. Is that the guy who doesn't have jet lag? Or is he the guy who is absolutely trying to lead by putting a positive spin on absolutely everything? That's Russell Wilson. And that's why he said to whoever's dividing the locker room, I would love to know. As I said yesterday, he's going nowhere. So I don't know who's trying to make it seem like he has lost the locker room, and maybe he has. If he has, then guess what's going to happen? They'll change the locker room. They're not changing him. You're not going to change who he is, and he is there. You have signed him. He's there for at least 2 years more. So what are you going to try to do? Keep this locker room thing simmering by letting it be known who showed up from his RSVP list and not? I don't understand what the end goal is here. Maybe you're trying to clown him. That's all. Or you're trying to get out there what the truth is and somebody's not addressing it. That would be, I would assume, the head coach, who had this to say. This is a very quick exchange. Had this to say on the subject matter of, can Russell Wilson go somewhere else? And that else being the pine, the bench, sitting down. Russell Wilson. Check it out.
Coach, are there any scenarios where you would make a change at quarterback if you thought it would give the team a better chance to win?
Right now, no.
Right now.
Right now, no.
Oh, jeez.
Right now, no. So there is a scenario. When you say right now, that means down the road. So you do hear that, and you say to yourself, that's something to me. He is indicating potentially to people in the locker room who do have an issue with Russell Wilson and think he is not playing well enough to keep going out there, I guess. A way to basically say, yeah, I hear you, but we're not moving with this guy. I would also counsel him that if there's one way to get got in this situation, and everybody, I think, thinks that Nathaniel Hackett is going to get got, because Russell Wilson has absolutely regressed since week one. As we pointed out yesterday, he had a terrific game in the first game in Seattle.
No doubt.
And so he has regressed. The one way to get got is to put Brett Rippon out there, saying that we have collectively lost patience. Robert Saleh can say, my quarterback needs a reset when his quarterback is 20 games into his career and has put up stats that are so dreadful, and the locker room can win right now. The team has a shot to win right now and make the playoffs right now. They had no choice but to hit the pause button and a reset button. And you can sit there and look at the coach and look at the general manager and look at the quarterback and say, totally understandable. And then the guy who he puts out there for the reset button lights it up for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. That can work. When you're the new coach, married to a guy on a Hall of Fame trajectory prior to his appearance in your system, on your team, and you say, yeah, we need to hit a reset button, you're basically saying, I haven't gotten it done with Russell Wilson yet, so I'm going to hit a reset button and let's go with Brett Rippon. And if he goes out there and performs like a backup quarterback who hasn't started very much would on a team that otherwise can't get it done with a guy who prior to this year has a Hall of Fame trajectory, that's the way you get got. I feel for the guy because I don't know what options he has. If the locker room says, you know, anybody is sitting there grumbling, you got to sit this guy down because he's killing us, and the guy gets sat, and the other option is basically saying, all right, 12 games into this whole new marriage with me and Russ, we got to sit him. It ain't working. Russ has got to sit there and watch Brett Rippon and what? Reset? Learn? I don't know what the right now means other than maybe, hey, everybody in the locker room that didn't go to his birthday party. Hey, everybody in the locker room, you know, that thinks that he's not being held as accountable as I'm holding you accountable. Right now, no. Wow. He almost for now'd Russell Wilson. As you know, here on the Rich Eisen Show, when a general manager or coach says for now, that means the bench is coming.
Yeah, it's over.
Or the Turk is knocking.
Yeah.
For now. The general manager and owner says for now, yeah, he's my coach for now. For now, okay. When do we revisit the later? When does later hit? When does later become now? Right now, no. Or he could have just pulled a Zach Wilson. No. I don't envision a scenario. Then the other guys in the locker room might be really, okay, what a holy hell of a mess. And we thought the day when it started, the worst piece of news for Denver is that they are performing so poorly. NBC told the NFL, take the Mahomes game back. We're flexing out of Mahomes' first game against the Broncos with Russ as the starter. We'll opt out of that, which if I told you prior to week 1 that NBC would want to opt out of the first game between Mahomes and Russell Wilson as a Bronco, they would turn that down for Herbert versus Tua. You'd have been like, okay, sounds good. I'll have what you're having. And then this tweet comes out, and it creates a whole hoo-ha that I said yesterday. Look, 27 guys showed up. That seems pretty cool. Half the people, if I invited half of you guys and some of you couldn't make it to my birthday party, I'd understand it. Certainly if I said, hey, first thing tomorrow, we got to be at work at 6 a.m., you'd be like, okay. You might be like, okay, I mean, Sarah's out of town. I got to look after Cage. I'll be fine. That could have been the case for any of Russell Wilson's teammates. But when I hear right now for now, what? Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.